Hi, this is Matthew Barrett. I just wanted to share with you the design process I used for one of my projects. I did a logo branding package for the Department of Public Works for the Village of Colon. I want to share with you the steps I took through the design process so you can better understand how the design process works and how I got to the end result. First thing I did was I took steps to define the problem. We want to know what the end result is. We have to know what the problem is we want to solve. So my problem was that the DPW didn't have their own branding. They weren't really distinguishable from the other village departments, and they wanted an easy way to distinguish their department from the other departments in the field and through documentation. The second step I took was to do some background research. I looked at the existing branding that the village had. I also looked at local organizations and businesses, saw what branding they had to make sure there was no conflicts. I also took note of the community identity and their local decor. It happens that they have a strong history in magic, and they continue to have 3 magic stores in town, and they have a magic festival. So I wanted to make sure I included that into the logo design. I also took a look at surrounding villages and their DPW departments to get an idea where the industry trends were, and wanted to be on the leading edge of that, but at the same time fall into the same ecosystem so people could identify that as a DPW and as a village design. Next step in the design process is the brainstorming process. So for this, I hand drew 20 or so concept logos, and out of that, I selected the best one. Next in the process is the development work. So I took my most promising logo sketch, I imported it into Illustrator, and I started doing a line drawing over top. I was having some problems with the angles on my cog, so I went and got a sample cog, and I imported that, and I used that to find the proper angles for mine. I also started out with the top hat with a gear over top with rabbit ears coming out of the hat, with a magic wand tool in front of the hat, and also a magic card in the bottom right corner. This design was a little bit too complicated for the specifications because we wanted to easily be able to identify it out in the field in bad weather and nighttime. So I ended up taking it back down just to the cog, the rabbit ears, and the top hat. And then I remembered that in the research phase, some of the DPW departments have a circle crest and they have a number in the center, and that number actually corresponds to the number assigned to the vehicle for asset management. So I figured I could bring the card element back in, and the number on the card could actually be the number that's assigned to the vehicle. The next part in the design process is the building of prototypes. So what I did was I took the base logo work that I had done, and I imported it into a letterhead, some business cards, and a vehicle graphic. And in these, I was able to bring in the magic wand wrench that I had taken out of the base logo. I also used the same font type as the Village of Colon to make sure that it was identifiable as a village department. And I also used the same color scheme that the village uses. So this is the final result, and I will now move on to the last part of the design process, which is test and redesign. I plan on sharing the design concepts with the village office managers and also the village council and get their input and redesign if necessary. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Perhaps you learned something along the way. If it sparked an idea that you'd like to bring to fruition, please feel free to give me a call, send me an email, or DM me on social media. I'll be glad to get back with you and set up a time to discuss your ideas, your concepts, and how I can help you bring them to life. Thanks, and have a great day.